the real world of England in 1388, still have to use our own 2 feet to get around, rain or shine. And I, as the town scribe, will have to take the tools of my trade, my pens and inks, which I have around my neck, up to Smithfield to do writing for people, which I brought my parchment and my gear and some extra clothes here.
Good scribe. May I interrupt you for a moment?
Surely.
I see a crowd is gathering. For those of you who want to watch the show, feel free to come around this side into the village so you're out of the walkway. Everyone over there, come around. Let's not block everyone else. There we go. Come on into the village.
Thank you, sir.
There is space over here behind these benches.
Now, the first question you may have, as I understand in your time, you have devices that tell you which way to go. This is quite amazing to me. Apparently this just happens from a voice from above that tells you what direction to go, or you have these things, these maps. Now, I, as a scribe, once saw a map in Paris. It was a mappa mundi, a map of the world, drawn by the greatest artists of the time. It was an amazing work of art, but it is completely useless for us to find our way to London from Trump. So how do you suppose, with no maps, that we're going to find our way to London from Croydon to sell our wares? Does anyone have any ideas? How? Does anyone have any ideas?
Roads.
Well, the roads in England are a confusing mass of snakes devised by madmen. They make no sense. So how are we going to navigate those roads if we've never been down them?
Pray.
No, we do what I'm doing now. We ask. We go into a town one over from us, because every town is about a day's journey away from every other town. On foot, we gauge where the sun is. We figure we have to go to the northeast to find London. We go to Dumford. We ask in Dumford, which way is the road to London? Someone will say, well, you have to go to this next village. We go to the next village and we ask. And along the way, we expect the people there to help shelter us, because as good Christians, we were expected to help each other. There were some inns, but they were fairly rare, and oftentimes people didn't have enough money. We had to dress appropriately for the weather, which I am currently not. But I wanted to show you good people in your strange attire how proper civilized people dress, because this has to do with how we travel. Most people would not ride horses in our time. In our time, people walk on the roads with our leather turn shoes. And our clothing is made from wool, which comes from sheep. You may not know this in the modern world. And linen, which is a fabric made from flax. Linen is not like your fabrics. It is amazing. It wicks moisture away. It is both cool and warm at the same time. This garment you see in front of you that I'm wearing is called a tunic. I made it myself, and it was dumped on by about 5 gallons of water this morning when I was setting up my shop. It is now completely dry. It dried off in about half an hour. That's linen. Linen is an amazing fabric. It's also naturally antibiotic, and to clean it, all you have to do is wash it off and dry it in a hot sun, and it will naturally bleach. So this is a favorite fabric of people in my time, in the civilized world. And my hose are made of wool, which is a nice fabric made from sheep, not whatever you folks are wearing. And it insulates my legs and keeps them, relatively warm, not overheated. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit long in the tooth, and my hose are a little droopy, but they work. And if I start to get cold, I have the wonderful garment, the most amazing garment in our times that you people don't seem to use, and I don't know why. It is the hood, the medieval hood that we wear in the 14th century. This is a garment of 100 uses. If it's warm out, I can put the front part on my head like this, whip it around like so, and I'm stylish. I'm stylish as a knight. Look at this. I could go to Paris. I'm so stylish. But if it's a little bit colder, I can put it on over here. This is a wool with a linen lining. It's naturally warm, and it's also a natural air conditioner in the hot, believe it or not. Now I'm going to take this, flip it up, over, and if I start to get cold, I can take this pipe, this Lear pipe, and whip it around my neck to give me extra warmth. And I can snuggle into this. I can actually camp out inside this thing. I can completely cover myself with it and pretend nobody's here. But usually I like to wear it like this. If I start to get cold, I can put it up over my head. It has many other ways to wear it as well I won't even get into. If I start to get too cold in this, I have the ultimate garment, the Gardacore, which is essentially a traveling tent. I don't need an inn. I've got my Gardacore. I can flip it over. It encompasses everything else. Even as big as I am, it covers me nicely. See, I've got extra long sleeves. If I want to tuck my arms up inside of it, I can use it as a traveling tent, pull my hood up over my head, and camp out on the side of the road in relative comfort. So I'm nice and toasty in here, and the thick wool with a linen lining will protect me in all weather. Ordinarily, I stick my hands through the sleeves, like this, so it's extra. I can get extra dexterity this way. Now, you may note there's one thing missing in all of this, which is pockets. For all of our amazing technology in the 14th century, there's one thing my clothes don't have: pockets. And I have to admit, I have some jealousy about your clothes because you have so many of them. Sometimes you have like 4, 5, 6, half a dozen pockets. I don't know how you keep track of it. We have none. No pockets. And you got to be wondering, well, if you're going to a market, a Renfaire, for people, for merchants around the world coming there, how on earth are you going to pay for anything with no pockets? This is a good question. In point of fact, almost none of us have any cash. A few coins here and there, that's all we have to muster, and barely that. So, what am I going to do if I get to the fair and I don't have anything to buy anything with? What I'm going to do is use an amazing invention from the 14th century, from the Middle Ages. Something so astonishing, I hate to even tell you people about it, because it will blow your minds, as you say. Something so remarkable, it makes your own coins look like a futile effort. This is a piece of wood. And I can take this wooden stick and notch it with symbols, and I can write upon it, "Loan of David of Trotton from me, Gregarious of Trotton." And the little notches tell you that I have loaned him 113 pounds. And we split it.
Wow.
It is a tally stick. No two splits are ever alike. We don't need massive amounts of what you call computer power to come up with a unique cipher. We have sticks of wood we can break in half, and no two will ever be alike. And we use this to match them together to prove the debt. I hold one piece, and the debtor holds the other. The piece I hold is called the stock. You may be familiar with this term, stock. I understand you have a market about it. But this stock is something I can hold in my hand. Something I can take to the fair at Smithfield and say, "Hey, David owes me 113 pounds. I will give this to you if you give me," we'll see how good Dave's doing. He looks pretty good. He looks like he's good for it. Maybe 100 pounds. Give me 100 pounds for it. And we'd haggle, and I would transfer the debt, ownership of the debt, over to you in exchange for 100 pounds worth of goods. So I have gone from Trotton to Smithfield in London, and I have gotten myself 100 pounds of goods. That's a lot of money in the Middle Ages for a piece of wood.
Take that, Microsoft Excel.
Exactly. Now you tell me, you have no technology that can touch this. For zero energy cost and basically nothing but trust and knowledge, we've created a new currency that we can use in the 14th century. Because like I said, we don't have coin. There literally isn't enough coin to represent all the trade that's going on here. And we have our wool merchant here. Here we go. Here's another example. Here's one of our folks from the fabric section over here who is demonstrating a pack basket, another great innovation we have for carrying enormous amounts of weight. She's quite strong. She's stronger than she looks. And this weaver is carrying our main product from Sussex, which is wool, sheep's wool. And sheep's wool has a lot of value to it. So instead of carrying money, which she probably doesn't have much more than a few groats to her name, she has a lot of wool. So she can take that to Smithfield and barter it and trade it into, turn it into practical things from around the world that we can use in Trotton. And this is how it's done very often. We still use bartering system a lot, and it's extremely effective. Thank you very much. Who else do we have who can help us out here? We have a fellow traveling up to the St. Bart's Monastery and Hospital who can tell you about pilgrimage.
So, obviously you travel for commerce, but often a main reason for people to travel in the Middle Ages was for religious reasons. You still have that, and in fact, just this month in Alaska, you'll have the canonization of a new saint, Saint Olga of Kwifluk. Yes, indeed. And there will be people coming in pilgrimage from all over the world for that. But in this particular case, I'm going to the Church of St. Bartholomew in London. And among the ways that you can tell that I'm a pilgrim, I'm holding the pilgrim staff. This bag here is basically my backpack. And I can use this as a walking stick, but quite often it's just over my shoulder and it allows me to walk around rather easily without much else. You'll notice that even though I'm going on a 20-day journey, I don't have much. That's because, as Gregorius said, you would expect to stop at the next town. As a pilgrim, I would very often be expected to lodge at just a local monastery. There were often monasteries a day's march between, or even less. But beyond that, there are practical aspects of the pilgrim staff as well. They're good if you encounter robbers. They hold your bags, and they're just nice to lean on. Another thing you can tell that I'm a pilgrim is my badges. Yes, I've been to Glastonbury. I have been to Walsingham. Yes, Walsingham. You wish you'd been to Walsingham. And of course, I'm a devotee of St. Hubert because, it's great to hunt. Anyway, anytime you would go to a pilgrimage site, there would generally be small vendors out, the local whitesmith who would be working in pewter or lead, and they would make badges. You could take them. You could have. We don't always know these days how they were used. We know that people kept them, put them in books. Quite often, they appear to have actually been thrown into a bridge when you got home, and so you'll find pilgrim badges along the bridge side. All sorts of ways that they were kept. But we also know that very often they were put on clothing, especially on hoods or on hats.
And you're also wearing something on your feet they may not be familiar with.
Yes. These are called shoes. Oh, no. Actually, you'll notice I'm wearing these kind of like large wooden sandals. They're called pattens. On a wet day like this, they keep my single sole of leather on my shoes off of the ground and keep me nice and dry. You can ask anyone here not wearing pattens why they are not, and they will feel sad.
Thank you very much.
But good.
Do we have anybody who can discuss the dangers that might be encountered on the roads? Oh, one of our knights.
Okay. So, where there are people traveling to these pilgrimages or market towns, there's also goods. So there's things of value, and there are those among us who do not hold goodwill to our fellow men. and who are willing to shed blood in the pursuit of goods of others. So, brigands. Along the road, there are these opportunistic sorts who will try to take what you have, or even just kill you for the fun of, for sport or otherwise. So, on the road, it makes sense to carry something to defend yourself with. A good pilgrim has his pilgrim staff, which is very handy for that. But some, even members of my own class, the knightly class, have fallen into brigandage. We call these robber knights. Some of these men use their former skills for defending the good people of England and the king and their lords to rob and plunder and murder. So in order to defend yourself, if you are of reasonable means, many good Englishmen will walk the roads carrying a sword and buckler, if you are so lucky to be there. If not, most good Englishmen have been said to be able to walk the length and breadth of Britain with a simple quarterstaff. We are renowned for our quarterstaff use. Now these are to mind the head there. Quarterstaff used among the English at this time. They could be anywhere from 6, just a simple walking staff, up to 7 feet or more, depending on what time, depending on where and when you are at. This will give you a significant reach advantage, and if you don't think this is going to do much against armor, well, ask the guy on the inside when he gets clocked with the end of this thing, traveling on a 7-foot shaft of oak. Ask him how his day is going after that.
Poorly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, so should you encounter brigands on the road, please report them to the local sheriff. For those of you who didn't know, in medieval society, you were expected to be a central part of your community and fill a niche. If you are not a part of that, you have no one there to vouch for your good name. If you do not have that, it means if something goes wrong in a community, you're a stranger, you're the most likely the one to be pointed at as the guilty party. If you're found guilty of being a vagabond, first offense is they burn a notch in your ear. If you are later found again to be accused of being a vagabond and you have no one to vouch for you, you're already found to have that notch in your ear, they're going to assume you're a criminal again and put you to death. So, stay close with your community. All right.
All about connection. So who else do we have? Another fine night.
Good citizens of Stratton, as the good man Gregorius said, the common folk can camp under their gardecours and their cloaks on the streets. The more impoverished knights may have to fight brigands on the road. I, however, make the intelligent choice, and I travel from city to city, staying with my fellow nobles. I will not stay at any inns or on the streets like the common folk. What I do is I send one of my many vassals ahead of me on the roads. Whatever they do on the roads is up to them. They will inform the Lord that I am coming. He will set me up a room. He will house me, board me, and feed me until I am full, because it is his good Christian duty to do so. And he will expect the same of me. So I have traveled all this way to Smithfield for this glorious tournament in front of the king by moving between castles and fortresses in luxury.
If only we could all have it so good.
If only we could have it so good. If only you have heard from a distinguished and very fancy knight. Now prepare for the opposite, for I am a lamed knight. And surely you would think that we'd have special considerations for the injured or disabled or differently able, like you do in the modern world. Lucky, not so much for us. October last year, I have torn 2 ligaments in my left ankle, and I have a year to heal. But what is my life looking like? To my peers, I am now lesser. I am now a penitent, because for those who have been with us in 2018 and looked at our Law and Order show, where we talked to you about where trouble comes from in general, your injuries are dispatched and delimited by God. God gave me this because it was my fault. Prestigious, light superficial injuries or cool-looking facial scars are signs of valor. But if an injury is debilitating, that's clearly my fault, and I have to pay penance. So I have to travel to St. Bartholomew's Hospital in Smithfield to pay penance, to pray for a year. You probably heal. I mean, who here has torn a ligament? It just takes a year to heal it, but not for us. I have to pray. I have to ask for forgiveness so I can once again elevate myself and fight alongside my fellow knights. So that's my reason to travel, and of course, on the way, I am a burden to them. I cannot fight or fight minimally, and most of all, I cannot fulfill my civic duty as a knight, the role of my social class, and risk tread the line of being a vagabond. So I must pray and pay penance, because that is how we roll.
It's quite clear to everybody here that he's having to pay penance for that hemline. That is far too high for anyone's comfort. And that injury he has was God sanctioning him for that hemline. Believe me, we've had to suffer through it. He's still flaunting himself. Do we have anyone else? I want to get going. I got to get to Smithfield here. Anybody else going? I got to get this great wagon I've got up to Smithfield. Let's get going here, guys. Come on. I'm getting excited about this.
To repent, I must travel as a penitent, as upon a pilgrimage. I must pray. Of course, all of you know that all I need to heal this is a year of time and physical therapy. But traveling there will be my PT, and the prayer will be the healing. So I must repent and seek to re-elevate myself and be capable of combat again, to regain my status.
It's all good and well to talk about penance, but take a look at that hemline, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that miniskirt he's shamelessly still wearing, even after the Lord Almighty punished him for exposing himself so boldly. That is not the hemline of a gentleman. You still have a lot of things to learn, Mr. Knight. Well, I, for one, am eager to get on my merry way to London town. I don't think I need any weapons.
God.
I think
The
I
hell
can
with
just
England.
find a
On the
way
other
out.
hand,
Doesn't bother me.
on the other hand,
I'm a piece of wood and my clothes, fine as they are. I have a little scribal kit to write with, but that's not worth much. I think I'm pretty safe in my poverty. I can talk my way out of most things as well. So I'm really eager to get going here. I'm sure I won't run into any trouble. I certainly haven't heard of any brigands on this road. No, sir. This is a beautiful road. It's a lovely day, light overcast. Not too bad, really.
Sir, the roads are not as safe in England as they used to be.
What? What? Oh no!
Buddy, fetch the nightly coroner.
Hello again, everyone. I am the Nightly Coroner. That is a name that you're used to in today's society. It comes from this era of the Middle Ages. Knights that were trusted by the crown would inspect all dead bodies found in a township or on the road. I am David of Trotton. I am the local lesser knight. I am low level in society of knights, but I'm still noble born. As you can see, I have my mace, which is used as a form of office to show I'm a knightly coroner, and I would come and inspect the bodies of anyone found on the road or in a town, determine if it was violence or if it was natural, and we don't actually care about the crime. We just want to make sure the king gets any taxes due. I am here for the crown because even traveling in the Middle Ages, you could not avoid death, death and taxes. He's dead. Wait a minute. I know this guy. He owed me some money. I owed him some money, maybe. Okay. No, we're gonna have to.
Squire, he's not worth my effort. Kill him.
That's evidence.
Havoc! 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 Havoc!
No, that's my squire.
You, sir! Killing a man on this road.
Brigands!
Brigands!
My garments have saved me.
Thank you. Are you okay?
I'm all right.
I have nobody left. If you want to do a job right, do it
Kill
yourself.
that cripple. I mean,
To hell with England, and to hell with God.
Oh, he's down too.
Now everybody, take a moment in your mind, ignore this crap we just threw together for you, and I want you to envision the incredible harness fighting you should have seen all of these guys who have beautiful armor and have spent years learning how to fight in armor just to have it so rainy that we had to throw this crap together for you today. Like in about 10 minutes ago, we came up with this whole show. I hope it didn't suck too badly. Next time we leave the stage. Okay, so what we have is a group of living historians here. Come wander the village, talk to us all. Normally we'd say, who wants pictures with the knights in their armor? You want pictures of it just as we are? What the hell? We're photogenic. Too bad about you guys. Also, there is a little box that someone's sitting on top of, I think, that if you wish to put donations in it because you like what we're doing, we don't spend that money on alcohol. We don't buy things like swords and daggers and stuff. We just use it for the infrastructure to help put on a better show for you next year. You don't have to give a penny. It's okay. Also, we are the living historians of the HRG. We also have 2 separate Western martial art HEMA academies. We have Matthew of the AK Fekskula. He teaches German martial arts in Anchorage. If you're interested in learning how to fight in street clothes with a sword or armor, talk to Matthew. We have Trevor Moya of Zornhau from the Valley. He can teach you in the Valley the later period German stuff from the Meyer era, which you guys are going like, what? It means something to us, okay? Thank you. We are going to do something at 7. There will be something at 7.
Yes.
Try to come see us next weekend. If the weather's better, we'll be in armor. So.
Before you all disappear, if the rain stays away, I will get an armor for you. We'll see how it goes.
No one else, and he'll do a dance.
I'll do a jig, just...
Thank you.
can I deposit my wooden